Hello, everybody. Happy Easter. I'm Brian.
And I'm Brian.
And this is Brian versus Brian, episode 140. Yes. Today, on the third day, he has risen. And we are here with you. We're doing the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Woo!
That's the title. It's weird. The Super Mario Brothers movie. Okay, it's big. It's a big title. This just came out. What the heck day was it again?
It was a weird. I think it was Wednesday. It was just kind of
April
weird.
5th. Yeah, April 5th, 2023. And just so you all know, this is a PG episode.
Ooh.
This is
Try
one
my
that my nieces and nephews can watch. Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
They went and saw the movie with me, and they want to see the review. So
Nice.
shut the up and let's do it.
If we slip up, I'll throw in some beeps in the edit. So we'll.
Yeah. So Super Mario Brothers movie. Finally, man, waiting for another whack at the Mario Brothers since the live action, dumpster fire. That was, I don't remember what year that was.
Yeah, like early 90s.
90,
Yeah.
something like that. What was I gonna say? This broke records already.
Yeah.
Biggest animated opening, beat Frozen 2.
It's insane, man.
So be prepared to get some Mario sequels, man. I've heard
Oh,
talks
yeah.
of them doing Luigi's Mansion, like that would be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You could do all sorts. Every game could be a movie. Like, could you
Yeah.
imagine Super Mario Galaxies, where he goes out into space, and I think the Galaxy guy was in this one, that star guy.
The star, yeah.
We're gonna die here. That was an awesome character. You could do like 3 as a movie, World as a movie.
Mhm.
Man, there's unlimited potential here. So, after the failure of the 1993 live-action Mario film, that's what it was, Nintendo was reluctant to license its intellectual properties for film. So, Shigeru Miyamoto became interested in developing another film when Nintendo was bringing its older games to the Virtual Console service. So, he met Illumination founder. Illumination, they do some good stuff, Minions and all that. Some quality work there. So they got together and made the movie. Hopefully this opens the floodgates for other movies like Zelda and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Zelda could definitely be a live action movie if you really poured some money into it. Metroid even.
Metro would be a fun sci-fi one. I was thinking
Like
that
a
one too.
sci-fi movie with a cool suit and you have a female lead that everyone wants to happen. You
Yeah.
know? It could be cool. But this movie starts off immediately explaining the accents and why they aren't there. I thought it was a really cool opening. I like the little commercial, the Super Mario Brothers plumbing. We're here to save you money. Woohoo! That was pretty good. And I like how he's like, "Do you think the accents were too much?" Luigi, no. And he asked the guy playing a video game in the same room as them. I don't know, they're in a restaurant or something. And he's like, "No, I thought it was great." And that's the real voice of Mario, which I
that's
thought was cool.
I didn't know that.
That's that one guy. He's been voicing Mario since Mario had a voice. 1996, Mario 64. Because people were disappointed that guy didn't get the job, and he's been doing Mario. So he's in there a little bit at that part, and then I think he's there at the end too. So that was good.
Yeah, and that pizza place it was like Punch Out Pizza or something on the walls. It was all like the Punch Out
all
characters
sorts of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And I think the game that guy was playing was Jumpman. This is what Mario was called before he had the name Mario. What else? So, the story really doesn't matter. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's set in real life, kind of a real life New York, realistic New York, and they get sucked into a tube. Mushroom Kingdom, yada yada yada. Bowser's trying to marry the princess for some reason. Also, while taking over the world, that doesn't matter. But we do get to see some Mario like family stuff, which is weird. Like they're at a family dinner talking about the commercials. Like, this is strange to see other Mario people and
your commercial
like,
sucks, Mario.
yeah, and everyone just
dogging on him,
crapping on Mario. And it's like, never seen Mario in this kind of situation where he's like the MacGuffin. He's just like the sad character. And it's like,
everybody hurts.
Thanks for supporting me, Dad. Walks to his room, plays like Joust on an NES. That's pretty cool. And then I think the most important thing kind of about this movie is really the voice cast. That was a big concern. Uh, so the verdict's in. Chris Pratt, we've seen it. What'd you think about Chris Pratt's Mario?
Um, I didn't mind it at all, to be honest with you. It didn't take me out of it. I didn't even hear Chris Pratt at all. I was really sucked into just Mario as a character. So to me personally, it didn't bother me. I didn't see Chris Pratt's kind of fingerprint on that character at all. So for me, it worked. So, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
I heard Chris a little bit, but it didn't bother me. I mean,
Mhm.
it was just okay. It was the most run of the mill voice performance in the movie, but
Yeah.
he's Mario. He's just like the normal guy. Everything around him is fanciful. So I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it wasn't distracting or bad.
Hmm.
But maybe it was just seemed more average because there's a lot of good performances in this that kind of surprise you.
Yeah.
Um, Luigi was good. I thought Charlie Day perfectly fit that kind of scaredy cat personality that Luigi has,
Hmm.
and I thought that worked out really good. Obviously, Jack Black as
Jack
Bowser
Black.
is pretty
Yeah.
good. You don't really notice it too much until he sings, and it just sounds like Jack Black.
Yeah. It's just,
he,
it's just
he
yeah.
sings twice. Yeah.
And then Anya
But
Taylor Joy is Peach. I mean, I don't know. It's
yeah,
it's just
I,
it's just
I
fine.
think the standout performance for me was Keegan Michael Key as Toad.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
It doesn't sound like him at all. First of all, I'm like, what the heck? And he just kills it, dude. He's got a lot of funny lines,
Hmm.
and the delivery is awesome. Don't touch that mushroom; it'll kill you. And just he's got a lot of great stuff. He says, Toad is super funny and awesome. And we could also have a Treasure Tracker Toad movie. You could spin off all these
Oh
things.
yeah, definitely. Oh, I think the one voice that was distracting, which I already knew it was going to be distracting, was Seth Rogen as Kong. Like I didn't really see Kong the character. I just saw, especially with his laugh. It's just like,
I liked
Kong.
it, dude.
It's just like what?
I thought it worked because they made his laugh because you know the sound that Donkey Kong makes from the games. The
Yeah,
they incorporated his signature laugh and made it sound
Yeah,
like
like
that.
that.
So
Yeah.
and I thought that was a really cool thing to do. Yeah, I liked that. I was like, oh man, that's like from the game. He does that in the game.
Hmm.
That was pretty good. And then I like how they had Diddy Kong. Be quiet,
Oh
Diddy.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Cranky Kong, Fred Armisen was okay. I thought that performance was a little weird.
Yeah.
Didn't I love all the Easter eggs? Did you notice when they first introduced Donkey Kong, they played the '64 song?
Yeah, the rap.
Like DK Donkey Kong. They should have had like the dumb, super stupid lanky Kong like from the game. They should have showed
Yeah.
him dancing. He's not the smartest one, but he's the dumbest one.
Oh my gosh, can't believe they did that.
Yeah, lots of good references. I mean, it's like walking by an antique store and it's like, say something like, "Did this thing work?" Yeah, you just got to blow in it. It's fine.
Hmm.
Huh. Um. Yeah. I thought it was pretty dang fun, man. There's a couple of parts where I was laughing pretty good. I mean, it went about as good as you could expect this movie to go. I couldn't see it being better than this. Like, well, I wasn't coming in thinking, oh man, it's gonna be a Lion King. You know, it's
Yeah.
just gonna be an epic, timeless masterpiece. Animation looked really good, dude.
Yeah, the animation was fantastic.
There's some stuff that looked super hyper realistic, like when they have like chrome things, like they're building the carts. Like there's a point where they got to use the carts to get back to a different world,
Hmm.
so they incorporate some Mario Kart stuff. That was fun. But like the chrome, like reflecting stuff, because they're all not too realistic of creatures, even like the humans. But then they put some realistic textures and colors in there, and you're like, "Ooh, dang, that engine like looks like an engine."
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Um, yeah. Like once again, I got to point out that Star guy was one of the
Yeah,
funniest things.
definitely one of the favorite characters in the whole movie.
The Galaxy guy.
Nothing
How do we get out of here?
despair.
I love
it.
We can't get out of here. We can only pray and hope for the release of death. Like the penguin guy. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. And the whole kind of journey is searching for Luigi, because he's lost in a different part. And there's some really touching family moments. As long as we're together, we can't be hurt. Stuff like that with Luigi. We do see some Yoshis
Yeah,
for a
very
second,
briefly. Yeah.
like Jurassic Park. They're just like running.
hmm
And one like looks at him, and that was about it of the Yoshis, though. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I was laughing a good amount. I don't know if I thought it was like as funny as like Illumination's other movies, like Secret Life of Pets and Minions and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was a little funnier, but I understand this is Mario, so you kind of got to stick with the beats, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's how much wiggle room there is to like make it super funny when you're working on something established versus your own original movie. So I didn't mind that. I thought the platforming stuff they incorporated was pretty cool. Like in the beginning, we see Mario running with Luigi, and he's
Oh, in Brooklyn. Yeah, that was cool.
doing some platforming and stuff. That was
And it
pretty
goes
cool.
2D like the game.
Yeah. And then the like training sequence with Peach and Mario, that was pretty good. I love Peach tearing into him a bit. You're just so small. You know, you're that's awesome. You're a human too, like a very small human.
hmm
But it's just like he
It
is
took
really
me a
small.
few tries too. You got on your first try. Yeah, but you know, I'm trying to help you out here.
I'm from here. I don't want you to feel bad. And yeah, it's pretty funny with the power ups because he hates mushrooms. Apparently, it's like, oh, really? You have to eat it? Yep, down the hatch. That was pretty cool. And then, of course, Donkey Kong. He's never seen any other power ups. He gets the blue mushroom. It makes you the micro.
hmm
I think they started that in like the DS games. But yeah, and then he's gets all tiny. You got the blue mushroom. That fight was pretty fun. I liked that fight. He's just beating the heck out of Mario for a minute.
Yeah, they kind of they do a good job at incorporating different Mario properties. Like from the trailer, I'm like, okay, cool. They got just the normal Mario games, but also kart. And so I kind of like my mindset was there. But then the fight, I'm like, oh, this is like Super Smash Bros. They squeezed in like a Super Smash Bros. Sequence in the movie.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and it was a little bit like, maybe Donkey Kong when he's throwing
Yeah,
the barrels. And then the Mario Kart stuff is cool because they actually incorporate some shells and the
Mhm.
blue shell at the end, and it makes the exact same noises. They incorporate a lot of stuff. Like Mario's doing the zigzagging to get the boosts to not get like crunched by that one giant cart behind him. A lot of Easter eggs and reference material. Which I can't wait till they can do a sequel and really focus on something,
Yeah.
because this just had to be the Mario movie. Just get us in the gate. The next one could be like way more hyper focused on kart or something, one of their
Mhm.
properties. And it is pretty cool that they got Donkey Kong in there because that's not really Mario. That could be
Yeah.
its own different thing. You could have a Donkey Kong Country movie, man. The freaking crocodile dudes come and invade Donkey Kong Land. You'd have that. That's a whole movie itself.
hmm
Could still be this could be a giant franchise starting here, especially with I thought it was going to do well. I didn't know it was going to beat Frozen 2, man. That's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
that's crazy, insane. And Pixar.
It's just-
I mean, Pixar is kind of the apex for animated film and not budget,
Yeah.
box office. But damn, crazy.
Yeah, I don't think Illumination has had anything like that kind of success.
Mhm.
They do well, but they don't do Pixar well.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was fun. It was a great time. I enjoyed it with my nieces and nephews. My little nephew, Bexon, fell asleep within like 10 minutes. Because everyone's like, oh, we got to get there early. I'm like, no, we don't. And it's like, don't worry. My theater I go to starts the movie about 40 minutes after the advertised runtime.
Yeah.
It's like we went to a 4:35. Movie started at 5:05. It's like, I told you, don't worry about
Yeah.
it. You could be late. I don't. You remember back in the day though when the movie started, when they said the movie started?
Oh yeah.
So if it was
totally.
a 4:30 runtime, that's when the movie started.
Mhm.
And you need to plan accordingly to be there before that. Now I don't know ever when the movie's going to start.
Yeah.
It's like what's the time you're giving me? It makes no sense. I don't understand the timing anymore.
Yeah, whatever the time is, add 20 minutes to that, 20 to 30 minutes, and that's when it starts.
Yeah, but when you get in there, they're already running stuff on the screen. So what is the time? Does that
Yeah.
when the doors open for people to come
Right.
in the theater? What are you talking about? So yeah, it was fun. He fell asleep, and then I think he saw like the first 10 minutes, and then he saw like the Bowser thing at the end where he's miniaturized. That was pretty funny. And I was asking him, was it a good movie? He's like, yeah, I liked it a lot. Like, all right, buddy. And he was so hyped. I guess my other nephew Jackson was saying, yeah, he's been talking about it all week. He's so ready. He wants to see this movie. And then he's like asking, when's the movie gonna start? And I was like, about 40 more minutes, buddy. Hang on there.
Got all tuckered out.
Everyone kept asking. I was like, we got a while. Chill.
Mhm.
We don't know when it'll start. We just gotta pray it starts before it gets dark. Yeah, so like I said, I don't think it could have gone much better. I haven't really looked at a lot of reviews, or I know the buzz. I think it's doing around 7s and maybe a critic score of like in the 60s, like not too well. As far as I know.
Yeah, I know it's not good on Rotten. And the only reason why I know that is because, unfortunately, I'm on Twitter, and this movie has been very controversial between. It's another one of those fights of like critics gave it, or the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes is like in the 50s, and the audience score is like 90s. So now people are fighting whether or not this movie is good, and it's just really annoying. But yeah, so critics seem to be lukewarm on it, from what I saw.
Yeah, it's
The
like,
audience score is through the roof, so people seem to be digging it.
I mean, it's Mario.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's not Citizen Kane over here, dude.
Hmm.
Like when you review a cartoon movie, do you really hold it to the same standard? You know, like story and character development. I was like, I don't know if you can, because they're so hyperly different. If you review them the same, I feel like every cartoon's going to be like a 5 or a 4. You know, because they're notoriously not on the same level as like mainline big cinema.
Mhm.
So this is what I expected. I'm grading it as a Mario animated movie, just like I would, if I was watching a Shrek movie. I'm not grading it the same way I did Terminator 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So for me, fun, enjoyed it. Almost all of the performances I thought were amazing. And then, you read these names, you're like, I don't know, man, but it works somehow. It's really cool. So it'd be interesting, though, if they move forward with all this. That's a tough cast to keep, because you got a lot of names
Yeah.
and a lot of people doing a lot of things in Hollywood. So it's kind of tough schedule-wise to keep this whole cast together if you're ever to make a bunch of these. So we'll see. That'll be interesting.
Mhm.
This could be a situation where Chris Pratt isn't Mario in the next movie or something like that.
Or like even just from a logistical, like what are you going to do with villains? Is Bowser going to be a villain in every sequel? Or are you going to come up with somebody different? That would be interesting to see of how.
You know what the next movie is? Instantly, boom, Super Mario Brothers 3
Mhm.
is the next movie. Then you kind of freak people out by calling it Super Mario Brothers 3 because it's the second one,
Yeah.
and you can have the tail on the 3. And in Super Mario Brothers 3, remember, it was like the little nephews and whatever of Bowser.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so it could be them trying to go free him. So now they're the bad guys. Then we could go through all the different little nephews, and I think that would be a cool way to do
the
it.
blue shell and the wand. Yeah.
That could be a cool way to do it. We could have Mario getting the wand. Yeah, that'd be cool. They're not brave enough. I dare you to do it. You would never call your second Mario movie Super Mario Brothers 3. You cowards!
Do it.
So for me, 8.1. I really enjoyed it. I thought, wow, this went well. It took us a long time to get here. What were you waiting for, dude? I mean, it's Mario. You feel like it writes itself.
Mhm.
Like there's not much you could do to probably make this movie terrible other than making it ridiculous live action. I think you could have even made a good live action Mario movie now if you wanted to. I think they're so scared of live action now that wasn't even on the cards.
Yeah.
But I think it could have been a really cool movie in live action, dude, where you actually have humans, and that would have been something to see. But I'm happy we got a Mario movie, even if it's not live action. So 8.1, I really enjoyed it.
Damn, that's a good review. I'm I'm kind of a little lower. Um, Unfortunately, I think I disagree with a lot of what you've said for the most part. I do think this movie is fun at times. I forgot to mention, or we forgot to mention, one of my favorite moments of the movie is towards the end when Donkey Kong and Mario team up. There's like this awesome like sweeping shot of them like jumping around and doing like I love that whole scene was awesome. The Mario Kart stuff was really cool. But to me, like I do disagree that without a good story and characters to latch onto, a lot of the stuff just doesn't really land. But that's just I don't know. Like this whole movie, I was just like, yeah, there's some fun stuff. Easter eggs is kind of cool to see, and like, oh, there's this, there's that, there's this, but like, there's nothing really to like connect to But it's like, and there are good animated movie. Like I mean, Lego movie. No one's like, oh, it's just a Lego movie. What'd you expect? Like no one says that because that movie's story is so fucking good and the characters, like all the whole Lego movie's wrapped up in a nice package, or like a Pixar movie. Like those movies have really good stories, and this movie just didn't it had like a bare bones story. But that doesn't mean it's like an awful, crappy movie. It just means I just didn't really, didn't really connect with me in a way that maybe it wanted it to. But like I said, there's some fun stuff. The performances are all great. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Oh, excuse me. The musical number by Bowser was like one of the highlights of the movie when he just turns into like Tenacious D, and oh my gosh, that was really funny. That had me laughing pretty hard. And just like how they actually portrayed Bowser, I thought was fun because he's like a menacing monster in one hand, but then he's like super vulnerable the next. He's like, does she like me? Does she like him? Like all these little stuff. I thought that was really fun. I wasn't expecting his character to be like that. So ultimately, I'm a little lower than you. I do hope that the sequel, like you said, can kind of hone in on something to kind of, maybe something with Mario and Luigi, because I feel like the movie started strong with their relationship, but then I was bummed because Luigi is absent for like 70% of this movie. And then he comes at the end and has a moment, but I'm like, the moment's nice, but it's like he didn't really do anything the whole movie. So it was just like I kind of wanted them to have more of a relationship, him to be more in the movie, because I thought that's where the movie was kind of leading up to.
Yeah.
But so I would love to see Luigi more in the sequel, see their bond. But to me, this is like a 6.5. It's fine. There's some fun moments in it. It's not a bad movie. It's definitely watchable. I think. I'm actually kind of jealous of you to see with your family. I think I maybe would have had a little more fun if I went with like a big family, like kids, and having a good time. But it's just me and Sarah, just kind of bitter old people, just like the story. It's hard not
it's
to.
Not my Mario. My Mario was actually Italian. Woohoo!
But yeah, so. It was fine. It was fine. It was definitely could have been worse. It definitely could have been a lot worse. But yeah, it was a good time. Not great, but it was fine.
Yeah, it's like, what are they gonna do next? They're gonna have Chris Pratt be Chef Boyardee. Come on now. Woo! All right. Would you say 6 point what?
5.
6.5, 8.1. Ooh, pretty big difference there. One of us is correct.
As always.
Go watch it and find out who, baby. Yeah, go check it out, man. Because they're hurting for money. These guys, it hasn't done well so far. They need your ticket sales. Go check it out in the theater.
That's funny. There's a trailer. I don't know if you got the same one, but it was like from Illumination, the people who brought you. And they go through like 7 movies. I'm like, well, what's the movie? What do we get? And then this is like a bunch of birds flying, and that was.
Oh yeah, it wasn't much. It did look pretty good though.
Yeah.
Like a sweeping, awesome graphics of birds. It's called Migration.
Yeah.
And then they're hiding in a hut and it's raining, and we're not gonna make it, are we?
Coming 2025.
Crane foot comes down. And,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Ah! from the masters of horror, the creators of the Minions.
Eli Roth presents.
Yeah. So 6.5, 8.1. Go check it out. As always, you can check us out on Apple Music and Spotify. And here on YouTube, we appreciate you joining us. We hope you have a great Easter. We appreciate you coming by every Sunday, whether it be on YouTube or wherever you come by. We appreciate having you, and we thank you so much. So until the next piece, say peace.
Peace.